So, do you think you can bring him if you find him and meet with Georgia and I? She's here in New York.
I don't know. Ask me again after the next montage.
Hello and welcome, friends! We are back today with our third chapter of Occult Origins, The Dream. Last time we saw the group tangle with the likes of Walter Corbitt before he was listed upward into a writhing portal with an ally in tow. I am your keeper of arcane lore, Grinning Moon, and with me today is our amazing cast of individuals. And without further ado, let's go around to everyone, introduce yourself, give us a brief description of your characters, and we'll start with Mega.
I'm Mega, variety streamer. I inhabit the mind state and personality of Morgan, also known as Indewo, Nigerian military man who's been through quite a bit actually, and well, pay attention and see what happens next. Looking forward to playing with you.
Squiggle.
Hey everybody, I'm Squiggleberg, also a variety streamer, role player, dungeon master, lover of cool things. I'm playing Billy Graves, the old man who likes to be unbathed, wear a shotgun, and dedicates his life to being a badass. I don't know.
Melly.
Hi, everyone. I am Melly the Marsen. I am a variety streamer, positivity activist, yogi. I am playing as Livy Domingue. And I'm just really excited to play with everyone and to allow Livy to explore this very interesting world we're in.
And over to Fickle.
Hey everybody, I'm the Fickle Ficus. I play Rory Sheck. I'm a New York City mobster with the heart of gold. I'm doing my best out here, smoking cigarettes, probably getting pretty drunk in this episode. I don't remember anything that happened the last time that we were here, and I'm just trying to get fucked up about
it. And then over to Garbot.
Hi, I'm Garbot. I am a variety gamer, GM, and daytime cook. And I'm playing Georgia Schultz, who's pretty banged up at the moment. So hopefully this injury won't hinder too much.
Beautiful, beautiful. So yeah, to set the stage here, of course, we have to start with the patented mood-setting music. It is the 30th of August, 1920. 2 weeks have passed since the events at the Corbitt house. While some lick their wounds and recuperate, others follow trails and seek insight into what they just experienced. We open on Rory walking through the lobby of a familiar boarding house. As Rory walks up a familiar staircase, you arrive at a familiar door, Mr. Gardiner's door. As you reach for the knob, you feel water drip onto you from above. You look up, seeing blood drip upward. As you grip the doorknob, it squirms and squeaks. The knob, now a rat, pours red smoke from its mouth. The red smoke surrounds you, smelling of rotting corn. A globe above draws your eye into an undulating maw, with two figures listing upwards into it. Smoke clears, and you're inside a large library. The spines in the books read Rory Shack. Lenny spots you from the doorway and runs. You chase him down the street, and a figure down the alley is being bitten by two others. A train is coming as you sit on a platform. As you lash out, your fist strikes something solid, and before you know it, you awake as the hut finishes shaking as you pull your throbbing fist through a freshly punched hole. You take into your surroundings. You're in a shack that is made of an amalgamation of pallets, signs, and wood scraps. A small ramshackle stove sits in the corner, cooking away, made out of a scrap metal, with a pipe made kind of ramshackly made out of multiple soup cans that kind of acts as a chimney to pipe the smoke out. As you kind of look around blearily, you see the first rays of sunlight peek through the cracks of the shack. So,
Rory Shack.
Rory Shack. I'm gonna pull my hand out of the wall, let some of those like wood chips and drywall or whatever's in there just sort of like fall off my hand. I'm gonna like rub whatever is on my hand off of it, and
yeah, wood scraps.
Yeah, the wood scraps off of it, and whatever blood that's on it from, just fucking up my hand by touching a wall. And then I'm just gonna lay back down. What the fuck? What the fuck?
Quit blowing holes in my ship, or you ain't sharing my shit. As Rory kind of looks over, he sees a bundle wake up from another bundle of cloth, and he sees his acquaintance and closely and quickly growing to befriend Farnham.
Farnham? How the fuck did I get here?
Fuck, you've been saying that all fucking week.
I have? Did I come looking for you, or did I just... How did I fucking end up here? Is this your house?
Well, yeah. Can't just leave you out in the streets. Not after you helped us before, but, like, I'm just saying, you've been at the bottom of a bottle for the last 4 or 5 days.
Do I see a bottle anywhere?
You see multiple bottles.
Already
as you kind of, like, tumble around, everything kind of stumbles over. It's, like, cheap swill and rot gut.
Any of them have any liquor still in them?
There's one that just has a little bit at the bottom.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to drink it.
Kind of shakes it, or swills it around in the bottom. And it's a typical moonshine. What do they call those? Not like a tankard. It's a growler.
Yeah.
You hear it tink around the bottom.
Oh, fuck. Okay. Alright. Okay. Fuck. I don't feel good. I don't feel good at all.
You have another one of them dreams?
Yeah. I just had the weirdest fucking dream. Felt so fucking real.
Oh.
I don't know what to do.
The door again?
What?
Was it the door again?
Yeah, the door, the train, the fucking blood. All of it.
Man.
Over and fucking over again, like I'm living in some sort of time loop. My own fucking name on the books. don't know what the fuck's going on.
Well,
Lenny, boarding house. Fucking boarding house.
wow. That boarding house is no good. Now, what? I hate to see you waste away. You're half my age, and I shouldn't be spitting in a gutter. Too good looking. Now, what we need to do is maybe up the dose. Maybe switch from the booze, okay? Just follow me for a second. Just follow me. Like, now I went over, spent a little bit of your cash. I hope you don't mind. And I got from a guy who has a lovely cart, this lovely bottle, and he kind of hands you over this little rose-colored glass bottle with a little dropper.
What?
Cork top, not dropper.
Oh, what's this? What the fuck is that?
Well, it says it's a dream cure. It says right on the bottle. I don't know, and you know, I got the words scrambled. Well, like, you can read it.
Okay.
Can't
take
you?
it.
You can
What's
still
it
see
say?
straight, can't you? And he hands it over. Sorted me out when I had a concussion. And as you kind of look at the tinted glass bottle, you read, Arnold Hamilton's Dream Cure. Effective. You've kind of looked down at the bottom and it says, effective against lethargia, cancer, tumors, abscesses, ulcers, fever sores, goiter, cholera, piles, and female complaints.
Uh-huh. Well, fuck.
You kind of turn
right.
it over, he's like, what the fuck's in this? And the ingredient says, contains caramel, absinthe, and poppy latex.
I pop it open and I drink it.
Bottoms up.
Yeah. Look, I just hope it's stronger than the booze.
Oh, trust me, you might want to... It's not going to kick in right away. You might want to get something in your stomach before that gets in. You got more beans.
No, I can't eat another fucking thing of beans. I've had so many of that shit in the last couple of days.
Well, it's either that or corn.
No, fuck. Get away from me with the fucking corn farm, I swear to God.
Well, okay, that's the two things I got. I'm sorry. Maybe I can go out and get some green beans or something? I don't know.
Did you take all my cash? Did you take the whole thing?
No. Just, no. Just
All right,
enough
give
to
me the
cover
clip.
it.
Give me the clip.
Here. And you only see, like, it looks like only maybe $2 or $3 is missing from it.
Alright, well, one, you're fucking trustworthy for a hobo, Quantum. I gotta say that. Respect you.
You're like a son to me.
Okay, well, for the record, you're not like a father to me, but I appreciate the sentiment. I do.
I understand.
But
Kind of like looks a little sheepish. Kind of like
I consider you a friend, okay?
kind of drags a bottle across the ground with his foot. Just
I consider you a friend. All right?
no, absolutely. And that's
You take care of me, okay? You took care of me. I appreciate that. You know, that's more than my father ever fucking did. So
kind of why I thought there was a whole thing about maybe I'm pushing it too fast. It's okay.
no,
It's okay. We'll get there.
okay. Well, I'm just gonna go step outside for a second. I feel like I haven't seen the light of day in a long time. So.
All right.
Oh fuck. Oh, that's
should
coming
eat
right
something.
back up.
And as you the door of the shack squeaks open and clamps, you find yourself in an alley with, there's two other shacks kind of pinned up next to it, and they're kind of nestled in between a dumpster that seems like it hasn't been picked up for at least a year.
Yeah. Does it look like there's anywhere where there might be a storefront nearby?
Yeah, as you kind of pop out, you realize that you're on a street that's like not even half a block from Central Park, so you can find a RX right around the corner.
Yeah, I'll stop into the closest like bodega or pharmacist type situation. Yeah.
And as you kind of step in, the doorbell, the rings above you, and it's a cramped little shop. All the items are packed in like sardines. And
Yeah, I'll grab like a bag of peanuts or something.
he's got a popcorn machine too.
Oh yeah, I'll take some of that. Take some popcorn.
Yeah, it's freshly popped too. You smell it, and it actually kind of the sweet smell, almost like you're like that will soak up some alcohol. So with that, it's like 35 cents.
Does it smell
He
like...
hooked you up.
Yeah, popcorn's okay. Just not fucking corn.
Nah.
Okay. Thank you.
Salty.
Yeah.
Not sweet.
Yeah, no, yeah, I need that's for the salt. I gotta soak up the booze, you know.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely, yeah.
Okay. Is there any booze in here?
Sir, this is a straight establishment.
Right. No, of course. Yeah, that shit's illegal. Don't do that. That's bad. Don't you
I know
fucking-
it's a new regulation and whatnot. It's asinine too, but you know.
No,
sorry.
you stay frosty. You know what I mean? You don't do anything untoward. Good for you. Good for
No,
you. Hey,
I do
good
what
for
I
you.
can.
Yeah. All right. Well,
Thank you, sir.
bye. Yeah. No, you're welcome. Goodbye.
Yeah. Have a good day. And he just kind of like looks bewildered as the doorbell rings one more time and the door clambers behind you.
Yeah, I go back to the shack.
As you kind of start to head back to the shack, kind of eating a little bit, you feel better for a little bit. For like, as the food kind of hits the bottom of your stomach, you feel the acid kind of bubble. And it's just it's that uneasy feeling. And as that kind of happens, you start to feel a little bit better in your stomach, but you feel a swirl, and almost like a lethargia kind of start to roll over you. As you eyes kind of get a little heavy as you make your way back to the shack.
Wow, that was fucking quicker than I expected. Okay, I gotta get back there.
As you kind of pop back in, maybe made it through like a little bit of that bag of peanuts and a couple of bits of popcorn, your arms just feel like anchors as you kind of stumble inside.
Fun, and this shit is crazy, man.
I told you should get some food in you before, like real quick. That's why I had the beans.
I don't know who the fuck gave you this shit, man?
Oh, it was this lovely gentleman in a suit. He runs a cart over by 6 and Lennox.
Damn. I gotta tell my guy about this stuff. This stuff is crazy.
And as you kind of say crazy, you feel yourself kind of just fall back into the cot. And slump.
Okay, Farnham, okay. Let's go for a ride.
Alright, let's turn you on your side now. There's gonna be maybe a chance of some nausea. And he kind of took it, and we kind of pan out of that. We'll go over to a much more calm area in the world, out of the city. It is about 8 in the morning on the 28th of August, 1920. It's about just a day over 2 weeks since the events. And as we open up on Billy, could you give us some insight into his last 2 weeks and maybe a brief description of his current setting, or the room he's in?
Yeah, so the last couple of weeks we've been trying to pick up some kind of trail regarding the Chapel of Contemplation. Billy suspected perhaps maybe if he could find the journalist that wrote that unpublished article, that maybe he could find a lead, figure out perhaps is this place or is not the place, but could these other members of this weird occult that we kind of researched in Boston, could they perhaps lead him to Michael Thomas? He's thinking maybe Michael Thomas is still associated with them somehow. So he's been calling and trying to track down this journalist. He's been reaching out to different newspapers, but again, the trail is run cold. So he's, if I recall, I'm back at home at this point, right, Moon? Yeah. And then maybe I've just like finished the last kind of round of phone calls, and I'm scratching a few names off my list, and he's scowling as he's kind of smoking a cigarette out on his porch, listening to the rain.
As kind of shower kind of goes over the cabin, and the fire kind of crackles in the hearth. You kind of look around and you see a picture frame kind of on the nightstand that has you laid down a little while ago. It's gathered a little bit of dust.
I'll feeling a kind of a pang in my heart, I'll stand up, ash the cigarette, and walk over and dust off the photograph and look at it.
And as you kind of look at the photograph, you see, we kind of see Billy, a bit of a younger Billy, probably from 20 years ago, 15, 20 years ago, and two small boys, and a wife kind of putting, he's got his arm around, and they're sitting in front of the shack he's currently in.
I'll kind of exhale a little bit, and I'll touch the picture of the eldest child.
As
maybe smile a little bit, and then look at the other faces, and
as you kind of look at
that's the smile kind of twists a little bit and then fades as he puts the photograph face down back on the dresser.
The phone rings.
Billy kind of doesn't get a lot of phone calls, and the last call that came through was kind of important, so he's going to walk over and answer the call.
As you pick up the receiver, hello, this is Sherry, a secretary from the New England Gazette. Is this Mr. Graves?
Yes, ma'am. Sherry, this is Mr. Billy Graves. How may I help you?
I'm sorry it took... Oh, thank you. Good. I'm sorry it took me so long to return your call. I had to pull some strings to get what you needed, but I found the records you were looking for.
Oh, shit. Oh, pardon my French. What have you found?
Well, we found that Paul Harrison apparently recently was commissioned to investigate something out of Maryland, Massachusetts. I apologize. Yeah, we found it in the freelance contracts. The per diem is currently being paid, and it's been being paid for just a little over a month. It seems like it started back in late September. July. Apologize, I'm a scatterbrain. The
Sorry,
town,
take your time, man.
Sorry, I'm just kind of under a desk right now, making sure that they don't know I'm doing this. But anyway, the town was called Rockport. It's out by Cape Cod. Yeah, that's
where I can find him. You say?
That's where he's currently doing an investigation. I'm sorry I don't have a number for you, but that's all I can
Well,
give.
Sherry, I'm mighty grateful for the trouble. Thank you.
No problem. The phone clicks.
I'll set the phone on the hook. Look from the photograph over to the shotgun that's lying in the corner up against the wall.
As you kind of see it, it's still freshly cleaned from last night, and it's exactly kind of where you left it.
Now, do I have anyone's number from the last investigation that we kind of went through?
You have George's.
I think I'd call up Georgia.
Sounds good. That being said,
She doesn't leave me on red, does she? Let it go to voicemail.
maybe. Who knows? As we kind of flit over to out of the cabin, we'll there we go. As we flit out of the cabin and open up on Georgia and her Manhattan flat, as she would call it. Go ahead and give us a little bit of insight into Georgia's last 2 weeks.
So, after having dropped off Billy and Libby at the train station, making sure she gave the number just in case they needed anything, she would have headed back. She would have head back to the Corbitt house just to kind of give it a once more over, make sure that nothing was missed. Try to get a hold of the dagger if it was still in there. After, any results from that, she would head over to the chapel to check out about the statue. From there, she would kind of start doing a little bit of her own investigation, because just based from the matchbook that Libby had found, Georgia would start looking into Rockport that she can. After any findings or no findings, she would then go and do her debriefing with her employer.
As she goes through the house and stuff, she finds, of course, the remains of, for lack of a better word, crime scene. The knife is missing, and the pallet on which Mr. Corbitt was laying on is completely torched. But going back to the chapel, you find that it's empty. But there is a couple tire marks in the kind of undisturbed parking lot. Looks like two cars, two vehicles. But other than that, that's all she finds.
Other than that, afterwards she would head to New York, just trying to be a little closer to where she knows they've all been called out from, and just kind of taking the time to rest her ankle. She's actually fervently writing in another separate journal. Her place is kind of small, living has nothing but an armchair, a small table, foot propped up on a makeshift ottoman, bookshelf, holding copies of old classics, mostly monster and occult type books, including like Frankenstein, Dracula, Great God Pan, in both English and German. Another couple shelves have journals, files, and she'll be sitting in the armchair itself, just reading casually, smoking a cigarette, not really, just almost seems like she's waiting.
And as we kind of come in with this, you have the phone. Okay.
Hello, Georgia Schultz.
Mrs. Schultz, this is Billy. How you feeling?
Mr. Graves. Expecting I have to talk to you for another week. What can I do for you?
Well, I've been trying to follow whatever semblance of a trail that was left over from that mess in Boston. That reporter, Harrison, that wrote the unpublished article. Think I found him. I'm thinking he might be able to shed a little bit of light on some of the shit that we've been looking at. Some of the tracks we've been trying to follow.
Where have you tracked him down to?
It's Rockport, back in Massachusetts.
And she will get up, kind of putting down her cigarette, grabbing the phone itself, and very carefully and wincing, she'll kind of limp her way over to the bookshelf, grabbing one of the journals. Holding the phone on her shoulder, flipping over, grabbing a pencil, and begins to furiously write.
Now, listen, I've been on this trail for a long time. And I kind of got nowhere until frankly, you and the rest of the crew met up under Barrister in Boston. I'm thinking we gotta finish this. Think you could contact the rest of the crew?
Certainly get a hold of a few of them. Sure.
Have you heard anything from Indewo or Rory?
I'm gonna miss this check. Unfortunately, not. Rory seems to have disappeared. Not sure what happened exactly. And Mr. Morgan seems to be gone off the grid. It's hard to follow.
I don't mean to interrupt you, but could you just move your mic a little closer? Because when you're
I am so
in the
sorry.
lower tones, we're losing you.
Yes, no, absolutely. I apologize.
No worries.
Rory has been fine. He seems to have disappeared, as has Morgan. Livy, I may be able to get a hold of, and she begins to kind of look through a small book.
Good.
The number at least works.
Well, if you could call Mr. Menge up, at least, perhaps, that'll be enough. Where do you think we should meet?
Well, I am in New York at the moment. Somewhere around here once we get in contact with Livy.
How far away am I from New York?
You're
About a
about
day?
it would be a day if you drove a car, but there's a train that you can actually catch that goes through Providence that would only take like 3.5, 4 hours. So you could be there in a day.
Tell her, I'll be on the next train. Let me know where I can meet you.
She will hang up with him.
After sharing the details.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Week
I'll be right
early.
back.
She just kind of scribbles in really quickly and then begins to dial up Livy.
As we kind of range from the Manhattan apartment to the house in Livy's uncle's house in Atticus, her new house. It's starting to become her own. She's starting to settle in finally. I feel. Maybe. Who knows? If you could give us some insight into the last 2 weeks and a brief description of what's going on.
Absolutely. So, Livy has finally, seen more of this other side of the world for herself. Again, aside from the experience in meeting her Uncle Douglas. So her mind is just continuing to expand and she wants to know more. She's still suffering from a wound, one of her hands, due to the dagger and trying to save her friends. but she is just completely captivated with understanding what's needed to do, teleportation rituals. She's just completely, there are papers just pinned to the wall. There's pens, notebooks. She's going back and forth. She just wants to know more. She's barely sleeping. Lots of coffee. Livy is wide open.
As she's kind of, I assume in her study now, and as she kind of sits back and takes a sip of coffee, we kind of can pan over the desk as we kind of see notes on the teleportation rituals. Portals are scattered around, but on the corner there's a cocktail napkin that has a number written with the instructions: ring 3 times. As you your eyes kind of fall on that, and you maybe wonder where Morgan is now. He's doing, you hear from down the hallway, the mail slot tinks open and closed. As you hear a flutter of paper.
Wonder what that could be. Livy will pick up the paper, read over it a few times, contemplating on whether or not this is a good idea, what this means for her future, and then she'll get up and go to the door to see what the fluttering was, what mail or news has been delivered.
Newspaper has been pushed in, as well as a postcard. It kind of has fluttered down to the carpet in front of the door. As you pick it up, no worries. As you pick it up, it depicts a red barn motif on a small pier, with a lighthouse silhouetted on the horizon behind. You flip it over, and I'll just post it in chat so everybody can see it. I attempt to copy it, and it's not working for me because it's so bad. So there's going to be a random quote at the end of it. Alright, there we go. And that should be in Roll20 chat. And it reads, "Sis, just letting you know I'm visiting Gabriel. Everything is great here. Now I'm spending my visit painting. Didn't know I would ever enjoy it so much. Hope you have a chance to visit. Everyone here is so friendly. Let me tell you, the fish here is fresh. Please try it if you come out." It seems impersonal. Normally she's just checking on you and it's powwow about, life and stress, and this one's just kind of a little, there's something off.
This is quite strange. Samara is never this formal. I wonder. This is not like her, and everything is just. And Livy contemplates everything that she's experienced and realizes that this is the last person she wants to lose. And so her gut is telling her, I have to dig into this deeper. I'm reading between the lines of this note that doesn't seem like her older sister, the one that she grew up with, that guided her, that pushed her to be the best that she could. So she becomes very concerned, very worried.
as you kind of, your heart flutters a little bit. Does she look at the postcard anymore?
She does. Livy will turn the postcard, back and forth to see kind of where it's coming from, and if there's any personalization on the postcard, which her sister always does, even if it's one of her very ugly doodles.
Yeah, there was just a basic signature, and it is her signature, but the rest of it, yeah, it's just very informal. Now, go ahead and just... What strikes you odd about it is it's almost like in the style of a telegraph. But the way it's broken up. Now, and the other odd thing is that Gabriel, I'm, like things that should be capitalized aren't. Only the first letters of every word are capitalized.
So could I use spot hidden to kind of decipher that, or would there be a separate skill that I would use to dig into this?
I'm not really doing any. This is kind of sans rolls. I'm just.
Gotcha.
I'm
Okay.
letting you know what Livy knows, and if you notice, if you actually read the note itself, it does have only capitals on the front of the letters.
Sorry.
And go ahead if you've realized anything.
So you said that there are some letters that should be capitalized that aren't.
So if you see, all right, in the chat, for Roll20, I'm like, there's something not being communicated.
I'm posting it in.
It's in Roll20 and in Twitch, but the first letter is S, second letter is E, third is N, fourth is D, fifth H.
Got it.
E.
Send help. Got it. Unfortunately, I can't see it.
Okay, gotcha.
I apologize. And,
It's in the Twitch chat now as well.
Mega got it. He
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah, you got it. So.
Okay, so this is not good. This is absolutely not good. Is there an address on?
It just says on the back with the motif in the corner, Rockport, Massachusetts.
Well, I mean, this is very clear. I can't leave my sister to the devices of the world. Livy decides in that moment she's got to go to Rockport. She's got to go there. And it just further aligns with everything that she found in the basement and in the house. And
as all this is running through her mind and everything's kind of clicking, and just this new purpose is flashing over her from down the hall back in the study. The phone rings.
Sorry, Moon, can you say that last part one more time?
The phone
I apologize.
rings. You're muted.
You're muted, Millie.
Muted.
Hello?
There.
Sorry.
Perfect.
So she gets up,
That was
runs up
perfect.
to the back room. She's, hello? Hello?
Yes, Domingo.
Yes? Is this Georgia?
Yes, actually, it is. Listen, Billy, I just got off the phone with Mr. Graves, and he seems to have a bit of a lead.
A lead?
I'll
Did
take
he-
the answer to my next question as a yes, you are interested. Yes,
Absolutely.
actually leading up to Rockport, of all places. You wouldn't happen to know a way of getting a hold of Mr. Morgan or Shaq?
I could certainly speak with the shopkeeper about Indewel, but I have no idea where Rory is at. I'm sure Morgan will know. I'm certain.
So upset. Right, yes, if we can get a hold of Morgan, that would be wonderful. Start. When can we meet?
And how far am I away from Rockport?
Take-
Mooney, your camera's off, by the way.
I apologize.
Is Mooney gone?
Yeah, I think you just
I'm
came
back.
Oh, okay.
Sorry about that. I was trying to prevent an accident with the cat.
Fair enough.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Fair,
Garrus was being
absolutely fair.
I
So
apologize.
I'm just curious how close I am to Rockport.
You are currently north of New York City, and Rockport's near Cape Cod, Massachusetts. So it would be 7 hours on a train.
Got it. Thank you for clarifying that because I am geographically challenged in
No problem.
real life.
No problem.
Perfect. Georgia, if you'll give me just a day, I can find Indewel, and I'm certain he and I can find Rory. I'll reach back out to you if I have any issues, but give me just a day and we'll meet you there.
I'm here in New York, if that's easier.
Oh, certainly. Pardon, I guess my mind is in so many different places right now. Yes, I'll reach out to the shopkeeper and I'll get back with you shortly.
Hear from you then.
And as you kind of hang up, Livy kind of marches back over to the study desk, grabs a cocktail napkin. Rotaries in.
So, at this point, Livy would definitely go. She doesn't like impersonal kind of contact when she's trying to pull information.
Okay.
So she'll make a trip to the bookshop in Harlem and see if she can get any leads on how to best contact Indewel, who she bumped into about a week ago, and
Just to let you know, part of the thing I gave you like before, but it's okay. The cocktail napkin actually has the dancing hall's number, which is where you know that Morgan gave it to you when you bumped into him at the whole shop. It has the instructions.
got you. Okay.
Ring 3 times so that you know
Got
it's
it.
you.
Sorry. Yes.
No worries.
So
There's a lot going on.
she'll refer to that and go to the dancing mill and do as instructed.
Fair enough. So you'll go ahead and call and ring 3 times. Just give them a heads up. Yeah.
Yes. Ring. Ring. Ring.
After a few moments, we'll kind of change the scene a little bit. and we'll go over to Morgan. Kind of, if you don't mind, just giving us some insight into what Morgan's been up to for the last weeks. Just a brief description of where he's at right now.
Last couple of weeks have been rough. Let's see what happened after the events. After the events at the mansion, it wasn't good. It wasn't good. Rory, unfortunately, he turned on us. It was a bit out of the blue. And we were still puzzled as to why things went south very quickly. There was combat, violence. Things were like rising from the dead. It was mad. It was. I still can't quite believe what happened was true. But we're a person of steel in character, so we've not to let a situation get out of hand. We tried to scrape some positives from it. Our statue remained the focus and the big payday and the opportunity to start a better life, and we went back for it. But we also realized that there was a box in the basement with a very curious and possibly very lucrative item, and we may have grabbed that box and stashed it. Not even looking inside, but just with a view to seeing if there was somebody who was interested in paying a pretty penny for it. We tried to walk the statue away and get paid, and it didn't quite go as we were hoping. Apparently, we were blamed for the statue being defective, not missing some of its part. An argument ensued. It fell to violence, and then as a result, we got pretty thoroughly beaten up. We've managed to steal away, not having got the payday that we liked, and not sure if we're currently being pursued, hunted, or chased. We've gone to ground. Working our contacts, we're now currently in a speakeasy. Not the owner, but a bartender, and the memory of those nights, the memory of that time just haunts us. It haunts us. There's been visions, bad dreams, and a compulsion that something about it sort of hawks back to a time when we were stranded on an island with beasts that were impossible to conceive, and it started to obsess, and thoughts have been going round and round. We're trying to tie things together that may or may not make sense. It's driven us to know more, and without anything else to hawk, without any supplies stashed away, we're thinking about maybe peeking our head out of seclusion to see if there's a purchaser for this strange sentient dagger that we may or may not have stashed somewhere. Currently, we're not giving much thought to our well-being. We're keeping our head down. We're not drinking heavily, but it's mouth to mouth. We're not making much money, and for a job that was supposed to be our payday, it's gone a bit tits up. But we remain a consummate professional, and we're waiting for our next opportunity and trying to figure out just what is this chanting going on in our head.
And,
That's where we are.
From it's midday. No, it's morning. So would he be down in the kind of his quote unquote room, or would he be kind of getting busy with the duties of the off time?
We're in the house. We don't really go out on the streets too much. We don't like to be seen. We're worried that people might spot us. You know, it's our wounds are still healing. We still ache. Few ribs are tender. There's a few, you know, we look a little bit worse for wear, and we know the value of appearing, you know, put together. So we don't go out. We're not trying to be spotted by anyone who may be looking for us. We're aware that there may be rumors circulating around that we may have come up short in the delivery of quite a lucrative statue, and that people are still looking for us for parts unseen. So we would be at home, maybe soup with a few vegetables. Sorry, excuse for a soup, water, salt, few vegetables that we've been eating for the last couple of days. We've managed to, at a few times, we've started frequenting a bookstore. One of the few bookstores that will allow Negro to come and go. We have a little bit of information, a little bit about the law. We're trying to find out a little bit more about why the events of the mansion was so messed up and what could possibly connect them to the events on the island a few days ago. So there's a little bit of reading going on, a little bit of eating a terrible soup, and maybe a touch of diarrhea.
Lovely.
A little dysentery.
So realistic.
Yeah. Really dove into that.
Yes. So yes, as you kind of are sitting in the boiler room of the kind of ballroom, the dance hall you've been working in, you kind of hear the phone ring from upstairs, and yeah, this happens quite frequently, but it only rings 3 times before hanging up.
The code, I know it's for me. It's the kind of call that I hoped would never come. But there's only one person it could be. I haven't given these details to many other persons. Since I saw Livy in the bookstore, I was on the back foot. She wanted to reach out. I didn't really want to, but I felt we were connected. I saved her life. So I gave her this number and hoped the phone would never ring. Reluctantly, I pull up my trousers and I walk over to the phone. Pick it up.
As
Bravo.
you catch the phone on the last ring. Well, actually, you'd call her back, probably. The phone rings on Livy's end. And it's not official unless I make the sound right. Sorry. Wait 1 sec. Yeah, on that.
There it is.
Had to call the operator first. I gotta switch the pegs. And
Hello?
It had better be something important. I know I gave you my number, but this was the call I hoped would never come.
Come on, Morgan. With everything we saw, you truly believed that this call would never come?
I don't know what you remember about the mansion, but events happened that night I went it never to remember.
Listen,
And yet, somehow, I can't seem to forget.
listen, you seemed really out of it. You seemed completely out of sorts in the bookshop. Are you okay?
I can't get the image of these eyes out of my head. What do you know about what we were looking for? I thought we were just there to make sure our house was safe. It's not professional, and now I can't get the images out of my mind.
Listen, this is probably the last thing you want to hear, but there's so much that I know I don't know right now. And I got a call from Georgia. And before you say anything, just listen, and you've got another opportunity to dig into this more.
Last time I was there, I was supposed to get paid. Now, I'm not saying she came up short, but really the job was not as lucrative as I'd hoped. Now, what can possibly possess me to go back? I'm more worse off than I was before, and now I have nightmares too. I'm barely making ends meet, and I swear, people are hunting me. I tried to be a professional, but this business is bad juju.
I completely understand where you're coming from, but if you don't meet the opportunity, I certainly feel that the opportunity will meet us, whether we want it to or not. Morgan, we would be doing ourselves an injustice if we didn't go.
Georgia, the price is double, and I need to be paid in advance. My safety must be guaranteed. I'm not coming out of hiding for anything less. And tell her this time, I want answers. And
Listen,
then I hung out. No more! I'll call you back in 2 days.
Got his bitch and want more money.
This time
So,
I'm definitely coming away ahead. You know?
Livy didn't even have an opportunity to ask about Rory. Can she, like, call Morgan back?
You can try, but he probably doesn't answer. Either way. You try once, twice, and then you're like, okay, he's not going to answer. Call Georgia. We'll kind of do a little montage of that real quick. And that basically is the arrangements of setting up a meeting. And Georgia was thinking 2 today. Not 2 days from now. And she is more than happy to pay him double. In fact, due to the fact that she feels bad she wasn't able to pay him his payment, she feels that was kind of owed to him. And that message gets exchanged over the next 5 minutes. Livy has that message and calls back and rings 3 more times. Just once more. Maybe he's cooled down and is willing to answer again.
Hey, maybe the last time I was a little hasty. Oh, that's what happens. That's what they after after rings.
And then you call her back, so yeah, sorry. It's not official.
It's just fair. That is fair.
Got a ring. Yeah, it's not
I didn't
canon.
get my ring. God.
I'm sorry. I'm not perfect.
Right, Livy, that's you picking
Livy,
up. I'm
the
calling
phone.
you.
Yeah, okay. Hello. Everyone's answering the phone.
Hello?
Okay, I'm not going to say I was a little hasty, but really I'm not sleeping well. Have you spoken to Georgia? What did she say?
Essentially, you get your wishes granted. But, Morgan, I didn't get a chance to ask you, do you have any idea where Rory is?
I don't know and I don't really care. The last time I saw him, he tried to kill me. I haven't seen him since.
It didn't seem like he was in his right mind. And when he came to and we left that hellish place, it seemed like you two vanished into thin air.
Bah, in all honesty, I can't blame him. The events of that night would make me want to kill someone too. I haven't seen him, but I'll take a look. I may know how to reach out and find him. We go back.
So, do you think you can bring him if you find him and meet with Georgia and I? She's here in New York.
I don't know. Ask me again after the next montage.
And with that,
Indewo's like the Deadpool of this. Like, it's
Yeah, right now.
I'm
for
just
sure.
sick of it. It's great, perfect. So with that, I believe we'll take our intermission now. As kind of the next step is to get the rest of the story, and get this dream cure and see what it really does for Rory. We'll be back here in about 10 minutes, and we'll see you soon. Hello, everybody, and welcome back. Let me just go ahead. Melly is currently on her way home, so we'll have her lovely icon take up the screen here. And while she is away. But yes, we are back with the conclusion of our chapter 3 of the Occult Origins, the Dream. I just kind of butchered that, didn't I? But anyway,
you butchered nothing. You're the GM.
it's
Yeah.
fine,
It is
it's
what
fine.
you say
I did
it
it
is.
all on
We're
purpose.
changing the name.
Yeah.
So yes, as we kind of come back into it, we just left Morgan and Livy kind of trying to figure out where Rory is, and Morgan thinks he has an idea of where to find him. with that, we'll kind of roll back over to Rory, who is currently in the Farnham Shack. As we kind of...
Rory Shack, awesome shack.
Rory twitches
For the record,
uncomfortable. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. No, I was saying, for the record, for anybody who doesn't, Farnham's a homeless guy who I met at the beginning or at the end of my solo session.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love
We're
that.
not friends, but yeah.
So Rory twitches uncomfortably in Farnham's cot, sweat beading on his brow, as the nauseous malaise swirls in his unconscious mind. Rory finds himself walking up a very familiar staircase, and at the top, Mr. Gardiner's door waits for him once more.
I reach for the doorknob.
As you reach for the doorknob, clasp the handle. You wait for what you have expected to happen. It doesn't happen. And tentatively start to turn the knob and push the door open. As the door squeaks open, it opens into the Corbitt house with the mudroom that's pouring water down from the ceiling. And as you kind of get a flash of this mudroom and the spare bedroom and the basement all kind of subliminally flash in your synapses, Rory kind of finds himself in the basement, letting go of Morgan's throat. As they both turn and see Corbitt and Jack list weightlessly up into the maw.
I rush forward and I try to grab the feet of the last person going through that portal.
You find yourself transfixed, and instead of doing that, something weird comes at you see out of the corner of your eye, and it's too far away. You look over, and where Morgan was standing just a moment before, you see Lenny staring at you.
Lenny? I'll reach out
Rory?
towards him.
What are you doing?
What? Lenny, what are you doing here?
And he begins to turn and run, heading up the staircase.
Lenny, no! Lenny, it's not safe! I'll try to rush after him.
As this moment plays out in Rory's perspective, from Morgan's perspective, Rory lets go of your throat, and you catch Corbitt and Jack listing their feet disappearing up into the maw to your left. You catch something out of your corner of your right eye, and you look back to where Rory's standing, and you hear the of the fish person and the fish thing from the island standing right there in front of you.
Poking, I scramble backwards from them both. There's no pretense of bravery here.
Rory's gone. It's just a fish person now.
I'm still scrambling back.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
There
I'm not
it
saying it
is.
changes
Okay.
your actions. I just want to make sure.
Yeah, the look of disgust on my face. It's still hands still rubbing my neck. And the
It
feeling of being
lurches
strangled.
at you again as you kind of begin to scramble away onto your feet.
And I reach for anything in arm's reach and just sort of flail. I want to say swing. In my mind, I'm swinging heroically. In actuality, I'm just sort of flailing at the thing to keep it away from me. And
You toss
there's
what looks to
no
be like a
heroism.
lobster crate of just very light, but toss it like a basket into the air behind you as you begin running up the stairs, full panic, heart pounding. as you kind of rush forth out down the hall and out into the front door, bursting out from the front door and out into the city, you hear the gurgling close behind as you just peel out left, full tilt run. Your suit jacket billowing in the wind you create with the speed.
I turn and look. You know, I'm curious what's going on behind me. I'm still deadpan to flee. You know, it's to full on at this point. Events have just overtaken me. I want to get out of there, but I can't help but look over my shoulder and see sort of
As you round to the empty lot and like catch the last glimpse of the house, you see the monster kind of lurch from the front of the building, looking left and right. It doesn't seem to see you right away.
I'm going to scramble to get away. So, with the chapel is the closest place. It's close to the mansion, right? So, I see it from my island and scramble towards to try and find a hiding place within the chapel.
It's just about
amongst the rubble and debris.
Okay, sounds good. And as you peeled off left already, kind of subconsciously knowing that, and as you kind of see this thing, you dip past the buildings and begin just full tilt running as quickly and quietly as you can, so not to have too heavy footfalls to draw the beast closer. Forgot a soundtrack. And as you kind of round the corner and make your way down to the chapel, we'll flip over to Rory's perspective. Rory, as Lenny charges up the stairs, he's like, "I'll get the police!" And he flees upstairs and out of the basement. Your mind races as you contemplate what's happening, but before you know it, like, your feet are moving in pursuit. Lenny bursts from the house and peels right, tearing down the street and around the corner. As you follow up a second or two behind, you look both ways and head right, hearing his footfalls heavy on the right.
Yeah, I'm trying to chase after him as fast as I can. Am I outside of the Corbitt house, or am I outside of the boarding house in the city?
You're outside the Corbitt house.
Okay. Yeah, I'm trying to. Can I see him still?
You hear his footfalls over to the right, heading down the sidewalk.
Yeah. I'm moving as fast as I can after him.
As you tear off in a sprint after him, you round the corner to pursue, and as you take the first corner, you see Lenny pop into the door of a big brick building, and the door slowly swings closed behind him.
Lenny, what is this place? Lenny!
He disappears into the building.
Can I look inside the building? Can I see anything from the door that's swinging?
As you kind of like catch the door and you look inside, you see that it's a library, a very large one.
I'm going in.
As you kind of step inside, you kind of pant a bit. Stitch kind of is setting in just a touch. As you kind of scan the library, you see the lobby and the tables and kind of the bookshelves and the various sections, non-fiction. As you kind of spot the plump balding man disappear into a section of the non-fiction in between. He disappears in between a section of bookshelves.
Sorry, I see who disappear into the bookshelves?
Lenny.
It is Lenny. Okay, yeah. Okay, I just want to make sure, yeah. Okay. And I have, like... Never mind. I Like, you whisper yelling, like, Lenny, come on. Stop fucking around, Lenny, come on.
As you enter the building,
Lenny.
the kind of sound of the traffic kind of dies down. And you get a shh from a shrewd woman behind the desk, and she kind of glowers at you before going back to her business.
Fucking librarian. Just Lenny, where are you, buddy? Come on, Lenny. And I'm just running through this. I'm like walking quickly through the stacks, trying to catch a glimpse of him again.
As you quickly flit through the stacks, you see no trace of him. Double back, go down another aisle, go to the back corner, flip back. He's freaking gone. You find yourself in an aisle, and you just take a second for yourself. Maybe gather your thoughts.
I don't know what to do. I put my hand up against, one of the stacks right beside me for support. I'm like panting. Definitely feeling a little bit of panic right now. I don't know where the fuck he could have gone. He definitely came in here. So he can't have gone far. I've checked this whole place, right? There's nowhere I haven't looked.
Yeah, no. You checked every section. Like, you didn't hear anybody leave. And you've been made sure to, double back pretty frequently so you can see anybody trying to sneak out the front door.
Yeah.
You've
And the
been kind of
librarian's
buzzing
still there,
around.
at
And
the
the
front.
librarian's just like... She just kind of looks at you shrewdly as you every time you come into view.
Where's the last place I saw him?
You double back to the opening of the the entrance to the nonfiction and head down halfway down the aisle. And
Yeah, at the last place I saw him, I want to just start looking at the books, look at the books where I last saw him.
as you kind of double back, you look up at the books and its various, world histories, long-winded essays and all that stuff. But one spine you find in golden embossment. It says Rory Shack.
Yeah, I hit my back up against one of the stacks behind me as I see it, out of surprise, back up into the bookshelf behind me.
And we'll leave. Well, unless you have something.
No. I want to I hit it kind of hard. You know what I mean? I'm saying I fucking.
It shakes the books
into the bookshelf behind me. Yeah.
Yeah. And with that, we'll kind of cut and go over to Morgan. Cars buzz by, and the sound of crickets and birds kind of in the night as you kind of make your last final steps, looking tentatively over your shoulder for that fish thing that was after you. There's no sign of it, no sound of it. As you enter the parking lot of the chapel.
There's no sign of the monster. I'm dirty. I'm wet. I'm miserable. Starting to feel a little guilty now that I'm feeling a bit safer. Feelings of being safe and a little feeling of guilt warring with me. I'm taking a look around. Maybe I should go back. Maybe I'll just have a quick peek at the house and maybe there's somebody there who could use my help, But if that creature, if I see it, I'm gone. I'm kind of torn between going back to the house and looking at my colleagues, or hiding out in the chapel until the sun rises. If I don't see the creature and there's no sounds, I start tentatively making my way back. Tentatively, slowly, eyes feral, looking side to side, start making my way back to the house.
As you kind of make your way back, you listen hard your eyes flirting back and forth. A few pedestrians kind of give you a wide berth as you kind of maybe use the hand, keep your hand on the wall, or keep close to the wall so nothing can. At least you have one side covered on you, right? And as you step back into the down the block, you see no signs of the whatever was chasing you.
Thinking to myself, I need to find someone. I need a hand. The statue's still in the chapel and I can't get it out by myself. And maybe someone needs help. Kind of secure in the fact that I'm not seeing or hearing the creature. Close to the wall, like you said. Always looking for the next hidey hole if it comes out. I start making my way back. If I proceed, if there's no interruptions, I make my way all the way back to the basement.
There's no interruptions.
And see if there's anybody unconscious or in a state of distress.
What I will say is there's one interruption then, if you're going all the way back down to the basement. As you kind of round the corner and like onto the street with the house, you see Swingle. Oh, sorry, not Swingle. You see Billy and Livy helping Georgia into her car and taking off.
Well, they didn't even stay to look for me. Ha! And that came back for them too. Enough of this. If they're fine, I'm out. With that, I will sneak back into the basement. I'll have a look around. Ah, what a terrible place.
As you kind of look,
this box here. And my eye will fall on the box that I heroically used to save Livy's life. For which I've never been thankful. But this early, it's only just happened, so there's not been much time yet. That dagger, what a strange thing. It doesn't sound like it's moving now. Perhaps if I keep the box closed, if I can't get the statue, perhaps I can sell it for something.
and as you kind of pick up the crate, you keep it closed, and do you just go for the crate, or do you check out the entire basement?
I'll check. Is anything moved? So, okay, because the full disclosure, the basement was rat infested before. If anything is moving, it's a no. If it's dead quiet, I'll be dead quiet. I'll have a look around.
It's dead quiet. The only thing that's here is the blood kind of on the ground, the broken wall that you kind of broke into there, and as you kind of peer in there, there's the charred pallet and the charred ceiling. But other than that, nothing moving or squeaking or going gurgle gurgle.
Now, if I remember correctly, I would have seen this as Rory choked the life from me. I did see somebody was going for the corpse with a pendant. Was that
was Livy. As you kind of looked over, you would have saw Livy kind of like running towards the corpse as everything kind of unfolds. And
my vision
Billy
was blackening.
aiming just a little bit too high on the gunshot and taking in the back wall. And Georgia doing her best to limp her ass into some form of helplessness, which was... You don't know how...
I'm going to say to myself, in the greatest chaos, there is the most opportunity. I'm going to give the place a once-over. Like, by now, I feel like whatever's happened, it's happened. My courage is coming back. I feel a bit aggrieved and abandoned. I'm going to give the place a once-over. I've got my dagger. I'm scavenging. We're not going to call it scavenging. We're going to call it smuggle professionalism. That's what we're calling it. Yes. And then I'll give the place a once-over, and then it's statue.
It's professional, efficient smuggling. Making sure you don't waste any opportunity and get you the most out of it. It's just capitalism. So yes, as you kind of do a once-over of everything, you actually end up finding in the corner of the basement itself, in the sub-basement, the room. In the corner of the room, there's just a small table with just some ink and some really old, dried up papers, but there's also a book that looks like a journal. Very old.
I don't put them in my box.
Oh. Kind of open
I'll
the
look
box.
at this
You're like,
later.
okay, yeah. Grabbing this, and I imagine it's kind of one of those like puts it in real quick and closes the lid.
Yeah, not even fully out like a crack. It's just basic.
Just enough to get it in there. And then with your crate, your box, everything else is more or less cleared. It looks like footprints were in the blood, at least suggests that there was activity down here. But you can put that all together. Imagine that.
I'm done. I'm easily done. Let's go. Well, I'm out. Before you even finish the sentence.
Yeah. He's already clomping up the stairs with his giftings. So when he comes out, is about to head out of the corporate house. What's he doing in his crate? What's his plan? What's his plan? Period.
Originally, we had this box because it was big enough to contain the statue. That was its original purpose, right?
Yes.
And now it has like a dagger. It has a book, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we're gonna go back to the chapel, right? And we're gonna make it. We're gonna box up this. Now understand that this is a very cautious affair. We're basically barely lifting the lid and shoving the statue. Toppling the statue in, right? We're not even looking at this point, but ultimately what's in this box is the statue, a dagger, and a book, right? And
that's the plan. Okay.
The plan, we load it on I mean, basically we struggle onto the street and we try and hail a cab. I think that's the plan, a cab that will take our box attached by whatever means necessary to we're dipping. The plan is to box up what we can and get out. Now at this point we're still of a mind that the statue, only the statue, is to be sold for what we hope is the sum of $800, which has been our prime motivation, which was our prime motivation at that time.
Yes.
Also, we're struggling to breathe and cursing Rory's name because we still don't understand why he just tried to kill us.
But he was a fish person after that too, so it has something.
Rory the fish person was cursing their name and hoping that they met a grisly end.
Okay. As you kind of this goes through your head and you're heading back with the crate, it's a little awkward. And you end up passing by a red wagon on the way there. This radio flyer on the side. You shrug. And down the sidewalk with slight thuds back to the chapel. Yes, we do. As you kind of get back to the chapel, you see that the rope's still coiled from before at the entrance, and you have your little care package behind you. What's he doing from here?
In my mind, where I'm going, I'd see this sort of scenario where there's this, there's this Morgan in a very, by now, muddy, disheveled suit, shoes just looking terrible, and this is a state that he tries to avoid. He knows how disparaging, it is.
He's not
for
quite
a
muddy
black guy.
yet, I would say, but a little bit, on the shoes maybe. But his suit.
He's out. He definitely, he's not looking like he's not looking professional. And then there's this scenario where, in my mind, we sort of attempt to lash this box to our back with this rope, and in a sort of, I want to say like a Nigerian tactic of carrying a massive load on your back, but I'm kind of envisioning this like hunched over dude with his big box on his back, lashed to him by rope. You know, in his desperation to make it so, kind of.
Fair enough. So yeah, we can kind of, as he kind of takes the rope, the crates got the book and the knife in it right now, and you don't want that jostling around, especially with the statue. You probably put that in later. So would you take those out or let them rattle around the back?
Cautiously, I think I might use some rope to I'm like trying to tie up this dagger to this. I'm still wary, right? But like I'm coiling rope around the dagger and the book. Not in them. I'm not in them. And then kind of making sure that the book is between me and the dagger. Dagger, book,
Yeah.
flash rope. Maybe I'm squashing it in my blazer. It's not my best look, but there is a scenario where at this point I care less what people see about. I'm just trying to get out now and with whatever I can get and book.
Fair enough. So he's got the thing lashed to him. The crates on the he's done the, we'll just call it the crate backpack, whatever. And he kind of clambers down into the basement of the chapel. There on the floor sits the jade statue in question. Moonlight streaks into the basement here, just enough to give it almost an iridescent glow. Seeing the features, kind of taking it in up close, kind of for the first time, you notice that it has 5 red eyes and one triangular hole where the 6th should be.
So I go up to the statue. I'm not threatened by it's a jade statue. I don't know why somebody's paying $800 for it, but after what I've seen tonight, it's the least of my fears. I examine it, with a smuggler's eye. Look, maybe just pour at the eye, see what's going on. I'm not overly concerned about this blemish, but something about it, something about the shape.
It does, yeah. There's something about it. It almost reminds you of the tiki totems from the island. Something between excitement and unease stirs in him at this revelation. Are the two connected?
At this point,
This is
something's
on the other
tickling
side
at
of
the
the
back
world.
of my mind. It's time for a spit polish moment. Rub the statue. Try and make out more of its features.
As
And then
you
I kind of peer at it.
as you kind of do this and reach out to polish the statue, you feel a little bit of a small static discharge that arcs into your finger. As you kind of wipe it off and look at it, kind of peer into it, you realize that it's almost like it looks brand new. And in fact, as you look at it and see this kind of brand new statue, you realize that you bring a chisel and a hammer and chisel off just a little bit to make it exactly what you're looking at right now, or at least many, many, many years later. With your bluish hands and claw-like fingernails, you slide a triangular bladed dagger with a red pommel into the slot of the eye. Lifting it out of the vice lift, you walk over to a table and set it down next to 2 seemingly identical statues. As you kind of do this, the table and the environment switches again. This time you're in a large, cavernous space. A giant version of this same statue sits across from this massive circle of robed figures as you set the one statue you just carved into the plinth in front of you. As you hear chanting begin to emanate from the robed figures, it reverberates off the cavern walls as the symbols in the center of the circle begin to take form and writhe in an otherworldly manner. The chant grows on and reaches a peak as the circle convulses and opens into a great glowing maw of teeth, eyes, and tentacles. The chant reaches a peak as the circle convulses and opens, into a great glowing maw. You collapse to your knees as you witness this, and a silhouette of wings emerge from the maw. Go ahead and roll me a sanity check.
Oh, sanity.
Oh, fuck.
I don't care if you succeed on this. I didn't.
You'll lose
What
0
gun is
sanity
made
because
of
your mind's
sterner
already
stuff?
open. You take 0 sanity loss because your mind's already open and does not reel from this encounter.
Bullshit doesn't bother you at all.
We've been on the island. There's our one shot has.
Steeled us.
Pardon.
As you hear the familiar sounds of traffic and birds. And you come to in the parking lot of the chapel, curled up in the fetal position, almost cuddling the statue. The lashing on your back has been shed, and you can see the knife and the book kind of sitting by the lashings under, kind of almost, you can just see the glint of it in the light. It's tucked underneath a bush, almost as if cast aside.
The statue is a part of a greater thing. What a night. These things need to never see the light of day. But for $800, it's a dilemma. Perhaps, as long as the statue and the dagger are never reunited, the statue cannot be used again to bring such evil into the world. They never asked me for the dagger, only the statue. Perhaps if I keep them separate, whatever happened in my mind will not come to pass.
He looks at the statue and realizes he can't really move it on his own. He looks at the crate after stashing the dagger in the journal in the same spot and stashing it away. He would take the crate and just kind of place it over the statue, so that just a crate in a parking lot. Not so strange.
And I say to myself, you'll have to stay secret a little longer. The cost is too much. I can't be responsible for unleashing something like you on the world.
Oh,
This dagger, though, it needs to be as far away from you as possible. These pages as well. If they had this effect on me, who is strong of mind, you can't be unleashed onto the world.
So do you go make a call? Or...
So at this point, I think I've been convinced my motivations may have changed. The dagger in the book, I'll keep to myself. More as a guardian than as somebody who's planning to sell them. I'm still compelled to find out what's going on. But perhaps these people who are trying to buy the statue perhaps I mislead them a little and try and cover up, lie outright, tell them it wasn't there. Perhaps I try and I would tell them that I saw it being shipped, that it was on a ship bound for some Timbuktu destination, and I was unable to retrieve it before it was taken. You know, I kind of want them to spin their tails looking for it. I don't want it to be discovered where it was. Maybe I'll throw some dirt on the box of the chapel. Right now, my mind is going to cover up after the events of that night. I'm trying to cover up the whole mess, even at the cost of $800, which
Just
a
to
lot of
let you
money.
know, this is the same night for you.
it's all right. So I'm throwing some dirt on the box.
Yeah.
I'm grabbing the book and the dagger, and then I'm leaving. I'm leaving. I'm leaving.
Okay. All right. Cool. As you kind of go to leave, go ahead and yeah, you I'm sorry. I don't know why I'm lost. Yes, as we kind of leave that there, we'll flip back over to Rory. Rory, you just saw the book in gold embossed lettering that reads Rory
Yeah.
Shack. The bookshelf behind you finishes shaking.
I reach out for the book.
Grabbing the book, slide it off the shelf.
Is it familiar? Do I recognize anything about it? Does it have any symbology on it?
It leather bound, reddish in color, so it's probably dyed. Looks like it's never been cracked.
I'll open it.
As the familiar cracking of the seal kind of, the pages kind of crackle a little bit. You find that it's multiple pages, hundreds of pages, of just the same phrase. Written multiple, dozens, hundreds of times.
What does it say?
Who's driving? Me or you? And as you read it, and it echoes in your brain, you read it in Dom's voice.
I feel like I'm back in the fucking car and like the moments before I was ever introduced to all this shit. I remember vividly getting in the car right after we pulled that job and asking him that, or him asking me that. I can't fucking remember, but I know that moment. I remember that moment. And fuck what I wouldn't give to go back there. When we were just fucking killing people, when it was that simple. I'm flipping through the pages one after another, looking for any other phrase, any other
Who's
word,
driving?
any other...
Me or you? Who's driving? Me or you? Who's driving? Me or you? As you read each page, you've...
what? Sorry?
Each page reads that.
Oh, as I read each page, it just continues over. That's what you're saying. Yeah, okay. I turn the corner to look back towards the librarian. And I'll hold the book up back towards the front desk and go, where the fuck did this come from?
No shouting. Shh! No shouting in the library.
Where did this come from?
There is no Sir, if you do not stop shouting in the library, I will have to get the police.
I'm gonna hold her by her the top of her dress, where it comes to a collar, and be like, God damn it, lady, tell me where you found this fucking book!
Sir, please, I'm just in the library, please, security, go, police! You hear somebody scamper off outside.
Is she responding at all?
That's exactly. She was shouting and screaming.
You cut out really hard.
Oh, I did.
Because of
I'm
the
sorry,
screaming.
sir. Please, sir. I don't know anything. It's just a book. Like, sir, I don't understand.
I'll put her down. God damn it.
She's kind of scrambles away from you, and as you kind of look back into the aisle and slam down the book or just toss it, you realize that all of the books are red now. All of them have gold.
Holy
Right.
fuck, I'll go look at one. Does it say Rory Shack on the binding?
Yes. So is this the one next to it? So there's one next to that one. So there's the next
Yeah, I
one.
start tearing books off the shelves, looking for any book that's fucking different.
There is no different books as far as you can tell. As you go through this entire shelf and begin pulling
I'll
off
take the
books.
shelf and I fucking throw it down, like the whole
As
shelf.
3 bookshelves hit into the wall behind, and as you kind of storm off down the next aisle, you find just more red books with golden embossment, each one saying your name, and for whatever reason, they're all brand new. And they all, as you rip one open and rip the pages out, they all say, "Who's driving, me or you? Who's driving, me or you?" As you hear... Go ahead and roll me a sanity check.
Yeah.
You're not
Wow.
passing this one. I'm sorry. It's bad for you.
Yeah, right. This is not ending well for me. Yeah. What?
0. You'll take 0 sanity loss as your mind is just understanding that for whatever reason something's telling you something. The universe, I don't know what the fuck it is, but it's telling you something.
I think I think that I'm trying to process what that means for me role-playing wise, like the fact that I just succeeded on that sanity check. So
It just
what
means you
I
don't
think-
break from it. You can
What?
still express and be what the fucky all you want.
No, yeah, I guess I'm trying to mean like what it means that I think that at this point, like with that sanity check, I'm like, I've just ripped these books off the shelves. I'm like literally like covering like fucking, I'm throwing books around at this point. And I go, this isn't fucking happening. Lenny's fucking dead. This can't be fucking real. God damn it! And I'll walk out. I'm gonna try to run out of the library.
As you say that this can't be happening, you hear the door behind you squeak open, and you see Lenny bolt out the fire door.
God damn it! God damn it! And I'm running out.
Yeah, and you give chase. I believe that's it. We go back to Morgan. As Morgan...
Damn it!
Welcome to gaming with Moon.
Yeah, I know. It's very cinematic. I like it a lot. I hate it. I like it a lot.
I'm sorry.
Thanks, I hate it.
Yeah.
Sitting here with
Morgan.
my snacks, I'm just like, what the fuck? Got my popcorn.
You are...
My guys, look, I still love my shotgun. I'm just calling people up. Going to Rockport. I don't know what the fuck you guys are doing.
Yep, hanging out on my porch smoking ciggies.
As we go over back to Morgan. You have the knife, the book stowed away in your coat jacket as best you can. The knife's nice and tucked away, sitting heavy in one of your inside pockets, but the book you kind of have to do the old, like, I don't have anything on my I just have a very square chest. Don't worry about that. As you kind of walk by, you actually hear the phone booth next to you.
No, I'm just gonna like stare at the phone for a while. But eventually, my curiosity gets the best. I'll go over, or shuffle over. At this point, like, I'm frayed, man. I'm tired. I'm coming apart a little bit like I'm tired. I pick up the phone. And I just listen. I'm not gonna say anything. I'm just listening.
Are you ready for the drop-off, Mr. Ndewu? A calm woman's voice kind of sparks across the line.
What makes you think I have your statue?
That's quaint. We can meet you in 10 minutes with your payment if you like. It's been a long night, Mr. Ndewu. You don't want to walk away empty-handed, right?
It's been a very long night, and I've come close to death more times than ever before, and I've been places. What you're paying me is not enough.
We'll double it.
You're asking for too much.
Money's no option. If you want us to double the price or even arrange contracts for you, this can be done. We just know you're the closest. And we didn't want to.
What you're looking for is dangerous. I don't think it should be released. I don't think we should carry on this conversation.
It's not about what you think, Mr. Ndewu. It's about what we need. And I know you need a nice cash flow. Make sure that your dreams can come true.
The price is double.
Oh, we were going to triple it, but if double is fine, that's okay. That's perfect.
Meet me at the pier, and I'll tell you where the statue is, but I need to see the money first.
Okay?
And I need transportation. I'm tired of walking around, looking for a way to get out of this place. I need a car.
I was understanding that. And she kind of hold for a moment. You hear her kind of calm the receiver. And a bit of murmuring that you can't really make out. Comes back. This arrangement will do. Just know that we will make sure that you can see the money and the envelope and whatnot, but we will not be receiving it payment until we have our artifact.
Send a car for me. We'll do our deal, but then we are done.
We'll wait by this phone booth, and there'll be a car around in 7 minutes.
So I hang up. I feel like these people are shady, but they're connected. I don't feel like I can stop them from getting the statue, but I can hide the book and the dagger. I've got 10 minutes. I don't want it to be anywhere bait though. How big is the book?
The book's just a journal, so it's like 9 by 12 maybe.
Can I conceivably
Inches,
stuff it all down my pants and get away with it?
You could just be like, I was gifted. But
all right, you know what?
I think you could get away with you could get away with the dagger. The book's a little awkward.
Well, I'm thinking of a Die Hard moment with my rope, the book, and the dagger. This is John Wayne, but no, what was it? John McClane before John McClane, right now, right?
So like having it on your back.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Cool. You realize you need the rope, and the rope's back there, so you just quickly flash run over there. On your way back, you're remending your lashing, which somehow you just untied perfectly. Weird.
At this point, the statue's in the box, right?
Statue's under the box, yeah.
Okay, alright. Okay. Part of me's thinking, the statue only has 5 eyes, but will they know if it only has 4? but we'll leave that. Well, I'm content. The dagger in the book, John McClane style.
Fair. As he kind of thinks about that, he heads back, kind of tying just tying a lashing around, cutting the rest with a dagger real quick, just so it's not loose rope hanging, and he kind of has it strapped to his back, tucks the knife just into. He's just like. He opens the book just a little bit, sticks it in the pages. With that, he kind of goes to the back to the telephone booth, and it's not like 30 seconds later that the car, a black Rolls Royce, rolls around the corner slowly and comes to a stop.
My hand up in the headlights. Don't come too close. There is fine. Come out and show me the money.
They were taking you to. The window rolls down as it kind of pulls next to you because you're on the sidewalk next to the phone booth, and the driver says, "I'm just the driver, man. Get in."
I'll slide surreptitiously into the back seat.
As you kind of slide across the leather, and unbutton a coat jacket a little bit, the car rolls off and to the pier. As you arrive, there's already another Rolls Royce in a work van parked at the pier. As you roll up, the car driver stops for a moment. The driver stops, kind of turning off to the side, and says, "Now's your time."
So I got out the car. Can I see who can I see?
You see a woman, in a black and white kind of patterned dress. Actually, it's a pantsuit now that you look at it. And it's a kind of thick-looking white guy. And over by the truck, there's a guy kind of balding, kind of thin, with currently wearing overalls, kind of leaned up against the truck or the van.
I don't want any of you to come too close. Show me the money.
Wow.
Let's get this over with. I don't trust what's going on here. And I still think you should stay away from the statue.
Pandemic's been over for a very long time in Daewoo. I think the distancing is a little unneeded. But you can have what you want. She motions for the man to walk out halfway towards you, and with the envelope in hand, and he's like, "You want me to count it for you from here?"
Don't worry, just give it here. I found your statue. On your way to the mansion we had to stay in, there's a chapel, burned down and dilapidated. In time, proceed to the basement. Your statue is in a crate in the corner.
Okay. Now, you won't call us too untrusting or skeptical if we don't mind having the statue in our grasp before we hand over, $1,600.
Send your driver to the statue. Give me the money and I will go my way. You people know how to find me. You just call the telephone on the middle of a hill and your man as I was passing. I know you can find me if you need to.
Oh, yes, we can. But in the honor of having some sort of a, what would they say, fair deal, it's custom for goods to be exchanged with payment.
I'm a professional.
We will, of course, give you a ride. We know you've had a long night. We can see it, of course.
I'm not going back to the chapel. I will wait here. Send your man, but I'm not going back there. Enough has happened this night.
What is keeping you from the chapel, sir? That's superstition? Fear? Maybe it's something
Nothing
more.
to do with fear. I'm a professional, and I know when I've done enough. I found your statue. I even boxed it for you, for which I'm not charging you extra.
Just double.
Just double.
I don't think you understand. That was not a request. That is part of the deal. If you want the money, you're coming. The exchange. Just...
Let's get this over with. I don't like the way you people do business.
That's fair. And you'll never have to deal with us again if you do not want to. But please.
Never again.
Absolutely. The car behind you rolls away. And you can accompany me. And we'll head over there together. Just in the honor of seeing eye to eye. And she goes to the Rolls Royce, opens the back door for you, and ushers you in.
I just came from that place. Now you're making me go back. My
You're the
word
one-
is good enough. The statue is there.
Sir, you are the one who wanted to meet on a pier.
I'm
We're
done
just-
with this place. You people don't know the juju you're about to unleash on yourself.
That's kind of you to say, but she just kind of ends and gestures to the empty seat in the back.
Women, so much trouble.
Always.
And the door clamps behind you, and she rounds around and takes the seat next to you. As the stocky man takes the driver's seat, and the truck and you roll out back to the chapel. With that, what's going through Morgan's head right now?
I just want to get paid and go home. Like it's trouble, man. My shoes are dirty. These people are untrustworthy. I've given up the places, the statue, and I've lost leverage. The dagger's biting into my back and the book is uncomfortable. I'm worried about it getting spotted. The situation is extremely tenuous. I'm very stressed right now. And like, I don't just like, why can't these people send their people to get the statue and pay me my money? That's all. That's what's going through my head right now.
Fucking money.
Don't be so nervous, Mr. Indeed. Seems like you're sweating, and she hands you her handkerchief.
I'm not nervous. I just want this business to be done. You haven't seen what I've seen tonight. People have been lifted into the clouds. Monsters have risen from the dead. And my own friend tried to kill me. And now I have to ride around in this car after I found your statue. I just want to get paid and go home.
Of course. That is absolutely.
You people will see things. I have had dreams that will stay with you. I should never have given you the statue, but a deal is a deal. Pay me and let me go.
And as the two cars roll into the parking lot with the slight crunch of rocks on the pavement, the rolls in the van come to a stop, and the doors pop open. She gets out of the car, and the driver kind of rounds the corner, the door, opens it. It's almost over.
Make haste. It's just downstairs in the basement. Hurry now. It would be done soon, and it's been a long night.
Let me just make one minor correction. It's actually in the parking lot where you ended up with it after the vision. And you put a crate on top of it.
It's in the crate in the parking lot, where I ended up after my vision.
As the headlights kind of fall kind of on the crate itself, creating kind of a long shadow against the back building, the doors pop open and everybody kind of files out. The van driver kind of walks over and picks up the crate, knocks it over. Yeah, it's here. At least he wasn't lying about that.
I never lie when it comes to business. Show me the money.
Of course. Seems like it's all in order. She kind of gives it a little bit of a look from the car. Hey, the man. Gestures to the driver. He kind of eyes you as he pulls out the envelope again. Kind of stuffs it into your chest.
Finally, we're done here. Where's my ride?
I believe you had your own way into the city, correct? With this, of course, you'll be able to have a luxury train on your back if you like. But it was a pleasure working with you, even though there was a little bit of a hiccup. I apologize for any inconvenience. Look forward to working with you again in the future. Thank you. You've been incredibly helpful.
Well, it's been a long night. Don't contact me again. Well, I will start walking away. My feet are aching, man. My shoes are dirty. I'm tired, man. I'm gonna start walking towards the train station.
Sounds good. As you kind of turn and begin walking away from the lot, she pops into the rolls and drives off herself. Kind of crunches and goes away. And as you're kind of approaching the corner of the building on the way out of the lot, you hear something behind you, someone say, "That son of a bitch took an eye." And you hear heavy footfalls growing quickly closer to you from behind.
I'll turn around in a hurry. What are you talking about? Everything I found on the statue is there.
As you say this, you realize he's gaining on you. He's a lot closer than you thought he was, and he just is cocking back a fist.
I'm gonna lower my head,
His
and I'm basically
associate
gonna no,
in
actually,
tow.
hold on a second.
Sorry, his associate in tow. I forgot about that. Go ahead.
There's two of them.
Yes. There's the van driver and the asshole.
Alright, okay. I'm gonna be honest. This is a flight or flight moment. Okay, so I'm booking. Like this is my legs, my tired, sore feet, the burst of adrenaline. I know the dagger in the book tied to my back. It's not a good look, and there's two of them.
Yeah.
What are my chances? And I'm just gonna try and outpace. It's a foot race now.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me a dex.
This shit I'm out.
Yeah.
Shit, I'm out.
As you begin running down the sidewalk. The men tear after you, behind you, and you make it probably halfway down the block before you are able to hear them in full sprint behind you. At this point, you run forth. You see the wagon from earlier, and you almost trip over it. Go ahead and roll me another dex check.
There's like sirens
dodge.
going on outside,
Oh,
and I
shit.
thought it was in game for a second.
Oh, shit.
Like, what the fuck is happening?
Wow.
That tripped me out.
That roll.
You can't catch Mega in a foot race. I was raised in Nigeria.
As they dodge, you realize that they're... go ahead and roll me a con check. And it's going to be a penalty dice just because you had such a... Go ahead and roll me a d10. And don't roll a 7 or an 8. Or anything higher than that. 5 is fine. Okay. As you kind of like feel a stitch in your side, you still slow down, even though after you kind of take that extra leap over the wagon. And you feel yourself slow down just a little bit, and you feel those footfalls coming closer and closer behind you. As you kind of dart down an alley, you dump a trash can behind you as you run forward and make it to are halfway down the alley, splashing through the gutter water. A bunch of trash cans and dumpsters flip by as you see the guy almost trip over the garbage can, almost like completely losing stuff, stumbling and losing a lot of momentum. You run forward into the out of the alley and hopefully into the street. And go ahead and roll me a listen check as your heart pumps in your ears.
All I can hear is my own heartbeat. That's all I can hear.
Oh my god, what the fuck? Who's doing that?
As your heart pounds,
Ripping me out.
as you kind of come out of the alleyway, footfalls happen to your right, just as you're able to turn your head, and the man in overalls just tackles you, taking you to the ground.
Oh shit.
You feel the wind.
Old Billy Graves shotgun now, buddy.
As you kind of fall on your back and with this weight of this man, you kind of get the wind knocked out of you as you kind of wheeze a little bit. The second man quickly catches up and is probably only a few feet away from you, and the punches start falling in. We're going to cut from Hugh, and we're going to go over Rory.
Jesus Christ.
As Rory dashes out of the library and into the road, you see him dart, panting, looking back at him. I'm getting the police!
Wait, so I'm seeing Rory. He turns back and says, "I'm getting the police."
I said the wrong name.
Sorry.
I apologize. It was
Sorry,
Lenny.
sorry.
You see
Lenny,
Lenny running from you down the street.
Does this feel like feels like the literal, like a replay of the moment I saw him say that in the boarding house when I told him to get help?
Yes.
And does it feel like it's a fucking like a TV show almost? Like this is happening on a loop?
It almost happened. It's almost like it's taking place where it didn't happen, and like every time he runs, it's almost like he's running down a hall, but it's in the street, and it's out of the house and up the stairs, and it's almost like you're misplacing and supplanting memories.
Yeah, I'll chase him down the street until I like sort of see him reappear the next time. You know what I mean? Like,
Okay.
And there, like in the middle of the street, I'll just sort of look around me to try to fucking get my bearings again, about like where I am. Like the world's kind of fucking spinning for me at this point. I look back towards the library where I came from. I'm like, this can't be fucking real. It's not fucking real. And I I'll just drop to my knees and try to like grab at the pavement and the grass and like try to feel something.
As you kind of claw at the pavement around you, you feel your fingernails pick back a little bit uncomfortably, and the edges of your fingers kind of go raw and begin to bleed. But go ahead and roll me an intelligence check. Or a power check. Whatever you prefer.
Power? Okay.
I think it's power. Let's say power.
Ooh, baby!
Get out!
Dream.
You-
Rory's rolling well tonight.
Just to create a moment here, because it's extreme.
Because it's what?
Because it's an extreme roll, I want to create a moment. with this.
Yeah.
So, we're going to use that in a moment. With that, Rory sees Lenny running into an alleyway around a corner and sees him like stumble over some garbage. As you kind of catch up with him pretty quickly, you see him halfway down the alleyway, but the alleyway has turned into the bedroom, and the brick wall is just a long ornate bookcase like from the
Like
bedroom.
Gardner's bedroom?
Yes. And as you kind of walk down, you see him sitting, reading a book at the foot of a bed.
Lenny?
He just hasn't been himself lately.
Lenny. Stop. Stop it.
Stop
Well,
what? As you kind of look, his head kind of gets lopped off, just like before.
Yeah.
And his whole body slumps. But as you kind of close your eyes and see this, the body's gone, and there's just a pool of water where the blood was pooling. And as you kind of look into the pool, you blink and your eyes are wide like saucers. And your teeth are sharp and yellow and pointed.
No. I immediately like stomp my foot into the water.
It splashes, and
And like you're telling me I just look like fucking Walter Corbitt for a second.
yes,
Yeah, no, I splash the water as quickly as I can, yeah.
as you splash the puddle and the ripples settle, you realize it's just water. This has all been a figment of imagination, and you probably just fucked up a library.
Fuck.
As this happens, it's almost like the sound comes back in, and you hear a struggle at the end of the alley. Looking up, you see two men beating another one on the ground, kicking, punching.
Like, hey! Hey! Just yell over there.
One
And
of
I'll
them,
start running in that direction.
One of them rounds on you. He's in overalls, and he stands up. He's like,
He's like, what? Sorry?
sorry. I had something written down for this. I wanted to find it, but
Oh, no,
it's
no,
okay.
you're good, you're good.
He
Might have
turns.
come out.
He turns on you, and he. Hey, buddy, stay out of this. You don't know what this is about. We got this hand.
I'm gonna look over at the person they're beating up.
It's. Morgan has his scruff of his suit jacket pulled up as the guy's cocking back to take another smack into his face.
I'll back up and be like, all right, okay? Hey, I'll like put up my hands as if I'm backing off,
Yeah.
and then like
Okay.
as he sort of starts
kinda-
to walk away.
He kind of like, okay, man. Just have a good night. And he kind of goes back And
as soon as he
his
turns
back.
around to go back, I'm just gonna fucking clock him in the back of his head.
As you just haymaker right in the back of the head, you feel your knuckles just bruise almost immediately as your just whole hand vibrates, and he just completely cocks out and hits the pavement. You hear his head fap off the concrete.
Yeah, I'm gonna run up and kick the other guy, and as I'm saying it, I'm gonna be like, Morgan, get out of here!
As you run up, kicking the other guy, he rounds up. He's like, wait, and he tries to block, and you just kind of kick through his block, hitting him in the stomach, and you hear a crack. As he backs off, oh, fuck, shit! He gives time for Morgan to scramble up and catch his legs. Still a bit woozy from taking a couple blows. Here's this moment. What do you do?
I'm gonna look at the two guys who are on either side of me, who are kind of fucked up at this point. He chose a bad day to fuck with the wrong guy, and I am gonna beat them to a fucking pulp.
Oh! Morgan kind of begins to scramble to his feet. He feels like the knife dislodged a little bit, and he's like making sure he, like, while he's finally got his hands, he's like presses it back so it doesn't cut him. And while he looks back, he just sees Rory going just over and over on this the guy who is still up and somewhat conscious. And as he pulls his fist away each time, blood kind of covers his fist as his face begins to bulge and nose begins to disappear, and eyebrow and eye pops, and
yeah,
he leaves a
yeah,
mat
I don't know when.
of
I
flesh.
think Rory stops when he fucking can't punch anymore until his like fucking like his
He
knuckles
feels
are so
bits.
fucking
He
bloody.
feels bits of the nose bone and cheekbone
That's
start to go into his
disgusting.
fist, and that's when he stops.
Yeah.
Swingle, you okay?
I think honestly, like, I probably like fall unconscious in this alley, like to a certain degree. Like, I think that I stumble out of here, but I don't think like
We got
it's
something
in
for
any
you.
right state of mind, you know?
I got something for you.
Okay.
Morgan, what are you doing in this carnage? Where are you?
So after securing my McLean pack, it's a hands on knees moment. You know, I'm just sort of gasping for air for a second. You know, like I'm making sure Rory's got this. That he's like, I'm very, a lot's going on right now. You know what I mean? Last time I saw Rory was trying to kill me. Now he's here saving my life. I'm like, he looks like Rory, right? He doesn't look like a fish man. Who am I
Rory.
looking at?
It's
Rory. Right.
He's like, his slick back hair is just waving in his face wildly while he's doing this, but it's Rory.
But right now, I love that dude. Like, I love this. And then so like he beats these guys, and then does he fall unconscious or does he start staggering away?
Starts staggering away.
Yeah.
You do see the other guy kind of start to stir a little bit, and he just starts to, like, while kind of like, we'll say 2/3 of the way through Rory's beatdown, he kind of begins to stir a little bit. And
I'm gonna be that guy.
Yeah.
You know that guy that like can't do the fighting, but when the fighting's all over, I'm just gonna go and give this guy a good kick.
Okay.
Like,
Yeah, absolutely. You kick him
maybe
right in the
spit
stomach.
on him.
Fuck. Alright. Shit. And you see him kind of clamber away, pulling something off the ground and holding his stomach. He begins clambering away back to the truck. And looks back
And then
at
I'm
his
gonna
friend.
go staggering after Rory.
He sees the friend and, like, he just starts running back to the truck.
I'm gonna go stagger after Rory. Literally, a timely save, my friend. I thought I was done for there, but are you okay? You look worse than when I saw you strangling me last, and I didn't think that was possible.
What are you talking about?
You look like you've been through something, friend. What? How are you even here?
I don't know. I don't... I gotta get back to New York. I gotta get out of this fucking town.
A sentiment I agree with exactly. We need to leave this place.
Yeah.
Oh, not right.
So So go
I
on.
need a fucking drink.
I've got you, friend. I'm gonna reach in the blazer. Now is when I'm gonna check for the envelope of money, right? Like right now, I'm paid up. Like enemies are off my back. Like, I'm like, let's go. Let's nearest bar. Let's stumble in and get wasted.
I just want to make one small correction.
Go.
Yeah.
Your knife, your McLean pack, as it were, is still secure. Nothing major happened there.
Yep.
But as you go to pat inside your... That envelope's gone. Fuck. That motherfucker scraped it off the ground when you fucking kicked him. You look off and, like, there's just a bit of a smoke trail from, like, the exhaust left on the street.
There's about to be some smoke in the city right now. Right now.
Rory, like, expected one. It's just like, fuck you. Here.
As this kind of revelation dawns on him, and beaten, broken, tormented, and everything else, they, Rory and Morgan end up heading back to the station. They, grabbing tickets at the office. Morgan goes off and sits on the platform and kind of pulls out an envelope and looks at it and smiles with $800 in it. He looks at it and counts. He chuckles for a moment madly and shakes his head as the envelope whisks away like smoke in his fingers.
Wait, this is what I'm seeing?
No, this is Morgan.
Oh, this is me. Yep.
Oh, okay. You're...
The dagger sitting heavy on his back. I'm sorry, I might be mixing up names. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. You got it.
So yeah, as Morgan, Rory, damn it. After the tickets are purchased, we kind of pan in on Rory in the bathroom, and he's in a stall, so we're kind of just walking into this kind of musty station bathroom, and you hear this frantic scribbling. As we kind of pan over the stall wall, we see it's Rory, his eyes fluttering preternaturally, and his arm going in wild spirals around and around, and around and around and around. As the camera kind of pulls into the stall and shows what he's drawing, the symbol of 3 Ys in a triangle with an eye in the center forms as Rory absent-mindedly scribbles it into existence.
So, point of clarification, Rory's in the stall seeing himself scribble this?
Sort of what we're seeing of me, I think.
Yes.
It's
Okay,
like
right.
cinematic perspective of what I'm doing.
I'm there.
Yeah.
And that's where we'll end today's session.
Ah!
Yeah.
Damn!
So yes.
Woof.
So yes, that was the dream. With that, Rory wakes up with a start in the shack of Farnham's. Understanding the dream now and what it meant. Or at least what it was. The meaning of it may be lost. And
Do I remember, like, scribbling those things on the stall as well?
Yes.
Okay.
God damn.
Okay. I also, I just remember that I fucking killed a guy.
Yep.
Probably.
Well, they ran off, didn't they? They got away. So, I mean, you beat him to a pulp, but didn't his mate drag him off?
One of them got away, I think. I don't know if he dragged his guy off.
One of them got away. One of them definitely was a little bit more part of the payment than a man anymore.
Grinning Moon described it as his eye popped. So I'm not sure how alive that guy is. It's definitely could be ambiguous, but I would say that he's either a supervillain now or he's dead.
Definitely needs some plastic surgery at least.
Yeah.
There's plenty of one-eyed henchmen out there.
I'll have a lovely ceramic face mask made for him. Yes. Let's go around and give everybody a chance to unpack this and give their thoughts and sign off. In the order we came in. Unfortunately, Melly kind of had to step away because she had some pre-route obligations. So, but we'll start with Mega.
Yeah, a banging session as always. Struggled this week with the timeline. I wasn't prepared to be in the present, the past, the present, and the past again. Some of that. So I time sort of was a bit more flexible in this one. It went
kind of well anyway. Like despite the confusion, I tried to organize it as much as I could.
Really well.
But yeah, like a great session. Sorry, Billy and Garbo. That you had to.
We had a cool phone call.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I've been on the edge of my seat almost the entire time with this, so I'm cool.
Yeah, I've been having snacks. I feel like those Korean reality TV shows where there's the panel of people watching it wow. that was Garbo and I for this session.
Yes. Oh,
I changed positions 6 times throughout that whole thing.
And yeah, I definitely think there's some awesome stuff that the next session just needs to happen really soon because I can't wait to see what happens next.
2 more.
2 weeks.
Yeah, but a lot of fun. Other than losing my perspective on time, it's fantastic.
Yeah, oh, thank you. Hopefully in a viewing it would be a little bit more. Hopefully it will make sense.
I think I got it towards the end of it. I almost missed the bit where Rory came in the alley. I was just like, oh my gosh, Rory's here! I'm saved. I thought I was going to go a entirely different way, and an absolutely fantastic job of weaving that together in the way you did. That was brilliant.
Thank you. But yeah, go over to Swingleberg.
God damn. Yeah, I was eating snacks. I was on the edge of my seat. This great use of music. I honestly felt like I was in a movie for a lot of this. So this great job to Ficus and Megalox. Great role play.
Oh, yeah.
The time that Billy had. I thought that was a nice. Even though it was a short moment, I do think it showed a different side of Billy that I'm trying to work into the role playing a little bit more, a little bit of his backstory. All of this was a fucking hoot, and I'm excited for all of us to get together again and keep this insanity train rolling.
Yes, absolutely. And we'll go over to Fickle.
Yeah, I mean, I have a lot of thoughts for sure. I know that we definitely were in the spotlight for a lot of tonight, Mega and I. And it was cool. I really. It
was cool though.
Yeah,
I think
cool, man.
I think it's cool the way that the consequences Grinning Moon, you've chosen to really flesh out the consequences of what happens. Yeah. And obviously this was Mega and I dealing with the consequences of our madness that we incurred from the end of last session. And it really adds to the story for sure. Also, for anybody who's just coming in, on like this session, you didn't need it. You didn't need this context to be present for this, but Moon was bringing in stuff like from our first, like, I'm pretty sure that the line, like, the line, like, who's driving, you or me, is the first thing I said in character in the entire game.
That was so fucking cool.
Yeah, like, and in like our first game ever, like, it was literally like he set up the car and I literally like went into the car and said something like, who's driving, you or me? And that was like, that's I don't know, that was like, that felt for me like, I don't know how to explain it, but like,
man, I was worried that you were gonna be scrolling on the walls who's driving you or me. I was like,
yeah,
no.
me too. Sure,
It's worse.
That I was gonna be driving.
It
It was
so
even
much
worse
worse.
than that. It was even worse than it.
I don't even know.
Oh my god.
And then I don't know. I felt, I know it was kind of like a fairly linear affair, but it didn't feel like that for me for most of it. It felt like I was really just trying to grapple with the situation as best as I could, and you kind of just led me through that. So I really enjoyed.
Yeah, it was awesome. Yeah.
Also, the cinematic past, present, past, dream, past,
Yeah,
future,
it was
present, it felt really like screwed up in all the right ways. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yes, thank you. Going over to Garble.
Sorry, I'm grinning like a freaking idiot because I'm used to your DM style and the way you run games. So I'm like excited that other people get to experience this
Right.
and get to suffer with me finally.
Yes,
It's
absolutely.
really, I'm ecstatic right now. I'm pins and needles. So when you started doing Rory's dream here, and everything started like spinning and he was just getting to laying down, the music you were playing, the distortion on it was like
I was
almost making
freaking
me
me out.
dizzy.
Yeah.
Like my vision was getting fucked
I
up.
felt like I was losing it a
What
little
is going
bit.
on?
too.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I felt like I was losing it a little bit.
It was
Yeah.
so great and it was so well done, and the music transitions were so smooth and seamless
Yeah.
and just
Oh,
really
man.
blended super well from scene to scene. Like it
Honestly,
really,
I don't know how
really
you-
set a tone.
Yeah, how you keep up, like Moon, running that and running the game at the same time is incredible to me.
Yeah.
Honestly, I wish we could hire you, someone, to just run the music for you while you GM. You don't have to, but you do an incredible job.
Yeah.
He's a magic
There were-
man. I don't know how else to explain.
If you ever need help in your audio design for GM, I'll be your backup GM.
Yeah.
Right.
For me, there were like
Um,
two oh, sorry. Go ahead. Sorry, Garbo.
No. You're
No,
fine.
it's a conversation.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I'm just really excited for next week where we finally get to like hear, find out what everybody's been up to individually. Yeah, 2 weeks. I'm used to a weekly game on Tuesdays.
Oh yeah.
So it just being able to get, well, what happened to you? Where did you go? I tried, So
Yeah.
it's gonna be a lot of unpacking next week, and I'm really excited for Millie when she gets to go back and watch the VOD and see what she couldn't sit in on this last
Yeah.
half, because this was intense. Like, no joke, that was intense, and you
Yeah.
handled it really, really well.
Yeah.
Also, Megalox, I'm just like, I love how we went into this thinking like we were gonna kind of like hate it. You were gonna hate me, and then at the end of this episode, like. You come out of it
awesome.
being like, I think you might be my hero,
Yeah.
Like,
And I didn't know that was gonna happen.
Me,
Yeah.
I had no idea.
But also, like,
Oh,
I'm really like, I don't know. It feels so. It's so rare that you find a moment that you're like, I'm in this.
this
Like,
is
so
what I'm
much so
for.
That I got the one-liner for. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you picked a
That
bad
was so
day
good.
with the wrong guy. It felt so like,
Yeah.
everything's led to this moment. That was fun.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, it was a
there
double
are-
take moment for sure. I was like, this is amazing. And there's been a few of those which I absolutely love.
Yeah.
I want to know who this other organization is.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
real.
If you tell Georgia what happens, like, she's gonna like, yeah, this
There's
can't be
some
good. This is not good.
They owe me $1,600.
There's so
I
many
tried
amazing.
to find you for your 25, man. I don't know where you went.
Well, I really need that. I've got a tab. Don't worry. If we see each other next.
Then I'll see you
And-
first.
Yeah, there was another amazing moment of the session that I want to call out, because like there was like a couple moments that were like the moments of the session for me that we already talked about. But one other one was like when Rory's in the library and like tearing things off and like throwing things down, like, oh man, like and grabbing the librarian. That was like that was fucking awesome, you guys. That was super fucking fun.
You think you may have
Good
just
shit.
wrecked a library?
Yeah, oh, fuck.
I'm pretty sure I fucking wrecked
They're taking
the
away your
library.
library card for sure.
For sure.
All right. But yeah, it's been a freaking amazing experience. Thank you, everybody, for being a part of it. Thank you for letting me traumatize
Good job,
your
Moon.
characters.
Good job, Moon.
Fantastic job, Moon.
Nice one.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
well done.
Yeah, thank you for letting me traumatize you. I mean, your characters, your characters.
No,
Right?
more alive than ever.
Yeah, and yeah, thank you for everybody in chat. And I know we had a couple raids. I couldn't shout them out at the moment, but Lords and Ladies of Fate, thank you for the raid. And I believe there was another one earlier.
Bed Bath and Bougie.
Bed Bath and Bougie. Yes. Yeah, so thank you both for all the raids and all the follows today. It's been wonderful and sharing this presentation. And thank you for everybody watching later at at home. You know, we really appreciate the support and all that. Check us out in the descriptions below. It'll be on for the YouTube. And like, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff if you feel so inclined. This has been Occult Origins. I am Grinning Moon, and we'll see you all again soon. Take care, everybody.
Peace.
Yes.